Well, howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. My apologies. I am just posting some of the messages to Twitter about the stream. So, all right, almost there. Alrighty. So it's been a spell since I last streamed, but I've been doing some work behind the scenes off stream, and one of the things I need to get to is related to -tx here. I'm actually gonna start with that. All right, B. So one of the things we found out recently is the latest version of -tx does not work on bundle phobia. Trying to find the link here. Interesting. Gonna work this time. The past few attempts, actually, this was broken already, so... Oh, there we go. That's what I was expecting. Okay, so version 0.14.1.0, both of those, they have changes merged into them that appear to be breaking changes and cause this error. So I've experimented a little bit just with a few options. For example, this version, so the previous before .14, it actually worked. So if we go to that, we get the information. So upon investigating it further, it turns out that there is something Bundlephobia doesn't like about this, which is a recent change. Originally, well, actually, no. So this was like that. But before package.json pointed at -tx.js. So it was pointing at this file. All right, so primarily what I want to change, but maybe I should make a branch first. All right, so we want this. Let me just copy from this other file I have. I think that will get things updated correctly. Like so. All right, and then music actually playing. I can't actually hear the music. That's odd. Hmm. I don't know if the music is coming through on stream. I guess maybe I can listen on stream real quick. Let's see. I guess the music is not coming through for some reason, even though it's moving down here near the bottom. So I might shut the music off so I can debug that later. It's odd. Oh, maybe it is playing. Somehow my audio was all mixed up and some volume was turned up and other was off. All right, so it is playing. Never mind. I'll keep going. Stop getting distracted. All right, so we've got this. We also need to make another file here. We're going to call it -tx.mjs. And this one will contain something like that. Now, I personally don't like having this file, mostly because AJ86 had set this up so that it does this on npm install, so this pre-publish. So if I do, let's actually watch the file here. So if I do npm I, it runs that and replaces what should have been just /-tx with that lib thing. So I dislike that. I'd rather remove the file, but it also means removing the pre-publish here. So but I think there is stuff that ends up using that. So yeah, long story short, I don't like this. I don't like that it changes that file on npm install. And I don't like leaving a broken file around. That's my opinion. I'd rather delete it. But because AJ seems to disagree, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to commit these changes. And let's see. All right, and I'll go ahead and push that. And then, let me see here. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work or not, but we shall see. It did not work. That's because of this, I think. Clear that. Try again. All right, so that should have created a tag. Yep, that. So 14.2-1. And which means this should have been bumped like that. Okay, and then if I do npm publish, I think I should be able to publish to this repository. All right, so I just published that, which gives us this slight change to the code. So the MJS and the package.json. And I also need to push that to GitHub. And if we look in here, we should have a new branch. Oh, look at that. We already have a fixed entry point by me last year. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so we've got a new fixed entry point. Let's see, I need to make a pull request. Let me pull up the right window where, there we go. Right. So we need compare and pull request. Okay, we're going to assign that to me. I'm going to call it a bug. Why is that complaining? Oh, it doesn't have an extra line. All right, so inspecting bundle phobia for that results in entry point error. This resolves that issue. Well, some use with using the package as some module. All right, inspecting bundle phobia. Results in an entry point error. This resolves that. This resolves the entry point error issue as well as some issues with using the package as an ESM module. Right. So if we do 2-1, this should actually work. All right, let's do that. Okay, that's out of the way. Gonna close that. And I might actually need to reference -tx, so I might keep that open for now, but just minimize it out of the way. Close that and that. All right. Right. All right, let's get into more stuff here. So we want to work on transactions, which some of the stuff I've done off stream will become apparent once I add a phrase here. So let me grab one of my phrases and we'll call this alias Jojo and enter our password. Okay. So this is some of the stuff we've done off stream. We added coming soon, earn interest with CrowdNode and Maya. So we will be adding in integrations where you will be able to transfer some of your Dash into one of these where you can earn interest with that. And then the main thing we want to work on this time is transactions. So I kind of graded out here, but this is what we want to build out. So we're going to start with, well, I guess this isn't as handy. I normally keep the files off screen just because I often need to reference them, but it sometimes distracts. But I'm going to go ahead and copy the contacts list and then we'll paste it right there. We're going to rename this to transactions. Maybe we'll keep the transactions list kind of like contacts. Transactions. All right. And I'll rename that list. And the code for what is currently there is actually in the main file right now. So let's pull up main. Maybe I should move that closer. That's all that it is right now, and some CSS. Yep. So this other sent transaction stuff is only used to detect some data and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. We're gonna come back here. Okay, so maybe I won't do that. I'm just going to copy that for now. Inside of header, we only need this for now. I suppose I really don't need to put the coming soon in there. Instead, it will say no transactions found. it would probably be worthwhile to have a sort by date. I might this one's a little simpler. Let's say sort by date AB. Go back to main here real quick. I think we're gonna need to pair these wallets, so give me a moment. All right, that should, every time sent transactions changes, should log the entire object to the console, which will then better let me see what's in. We will also need to get more than just these sent transactions. I think, let's finish cleaning this up before we go back to the util stuff. Don't think we're gonna need any of that or that. We will likely need this one. I don't think we need that. Or data list here. The other thing I'm realizing or recognizing that I'm breaking is while I have this object called initial state, I don't know if that's most of it shouldn't be real state. It's kind of just configuration options. Most of the things that require a lot of state changes actually do get changed in the rigs here. I think sometimes in frameworks like Reactor View, they would be called compositions. So the component should be fairly... I guess I've broken this rule a bit myself and intermixed stuff, because it wasn't, when I first started building this stuff, I didn't have as clear and distinct of an idea of what would be where. But I think these might need to be changed at some point where all of these should be simple basic components that don't really have any state. And if it needs state, it should be a rig or essentially a composition. I don't know if the transactions will be encrypted or not yet. I haven't come to that decision, but instead of deleting that right off the bat, I will leave it for now. And the transaction likely won't have hardly any of this information to start with. We'll need to create a way to actually get the information from IndexedDB here. Actually, gonna go ahead and shift this back over there. Yeah, so we would likely need to, for the transactions, build some sort of in-memory connection to the contacts. And to the either aliases or the accounts. So if we end up pairing these two, we do new contact and new contact, copy, paste there, copy here, paste there, add and add. All right, so now we've got these two wallets paired. Oh, that's another thing I got to off stream, is making these separate. And so you can see why that happens. If I do a new contact and I don't actually add anyone, before these were all showing in the same list. So now you can easily just bounce between the two. Like, for example, if you go to pair and you go, this is for Bob. Ooh, that's interesting. That shouldn't actually happen. All right, I've got a slight issue there, but Bob should still be in this list. So I'll need to fix that. But assuming that didn't happen, you'd be able to go, oh, I was going to pair with Bob, but Bob never sent me the address or shared his URI, and so I wasn't actually able to pair with Bob. So that one should actually go into there. It's probably a relatively easy fix. I went to filter paired contacts. Okay, so now we've got all those paired contacts, and if we, oh wait, there's two. Why did that run so many times? That's actually kind of odd. Okay, so what we should actually do is instead of checking for, so if contact alias is true or contact info name trimmed is true, then we treat it as paired, but that's not what we want. What we should actually be checking is contact outgoing. Let contact outgoing object dot keys dot length Alright, so if out length is greater than 0 and that actually I think that would suffice. And at this point, we might as well just do that. Maybe we won't. That's a little easier to puzzle through. Let's refresh. Uh-oh. Not convert undefined or null to object. So it, oh, okay. Actually, let me check this one more time. The reason I want to check this is I could do receive and generate new address. Copy that. And then with Bob here, if I pasted that in there, add. Okay, so interesting. Did it remove Bob from that? Interesting. Yeah, so that's haywire. Looks like there's some finicky stuff there as well. It shouldn't have removed the contact info, though. So can I add Bob back in there? Okay. Okay, if I go ahead and get another new address, let's see what happens. I want to watch this. Oh, wait. That's interesting. Okay, so I can't. I'm going to have to do another new contact. So let's do Sally. We'll close that, and then we'll paste in here. Okay, but Sally is still set there. But it acted like it wasn't. Interesting. So even though the field was still set, it treated it as if it wasn't. Just actually had a thought real quick. Before I forget this, I want to make this tiny little change. I'm going to pull over -tx here, go to here, and so we'll fix this while I'm at it, and then I'm going to add a comment. Maybe I'll just keep the link there. Okay. Then, at least, if anyone looks at that file, they will know why this is being done. Or hopefully they'll be able to infer from it why it's being done. All right. Now I can, now that I'm not thinking about that, I'm getting sidetracked on this pairing stuff, which I don't want to spend much more time on. So I will try to circle back to this before I'm done with the stream. But it may have to wait till another stream. Let me make sure I add a note about this first, though. In any case, what I was actually wondering about here with the filter contacts is if this would be empty. But since it isn't, oh, so it's complaining because okay, I get it now. It doesn't have an alias. I didn't set an alias for either of these, even though I set a name. So I could eliminate this. Maybe I'll just do that for now. I don't love how this shows undefined. I assume that is related to this, so the preferred username comes out of parse address field. Which then turns into preferred alias. But then that should only be set if it exists. But maybe it's actually getting set by the debounce field. That could be possible. Although, debounce field should set it to an empty string. So that would seem like an unlikely candidate there. The preferred username inside info is an empty string. And alias not set. That might solve part of it. Ah. Okay, that will probably solve it. There we go. Hmm. All right. That's some stuff fixed with pairing that I didn't mean to work on, but you know, oh well. Oh, that's interesting. With no name. Hmm. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, let's see. Okay, back to transactions. Ooh, that's fun. Is not at all what I was expecting. That's more in line with what I was expecting. Alright, so I'm going to do that and comment all of that out. I don't think we're going to need to worry about filtering right now, and probably not sorting, but maybe in the future we will. Okay. Alright, so this might work. Let's add it. I probably don't want all of that. But I'm going to copy it for now. So, I'm going to go down to here. Alright, so I'm just going to track this temporarily. And refresh. didn't work. Did we get an error? Before end. After begin, maybe before end. Oh, I'm a derp. We don't need that down here. We just need the render. And then I can add it after the other one. Okay, let's see if that works. There we go. No transactions found. We should also be able to go, let's see. That. Okay, so we want to find this right here. Alright, that fixes the opacity thing. Don't like how often sent transactions seems to be getting called though. X's. Right, so now it shouldn't be needlessly updating that. Okay. Come back here. So now if I send like so, let's do a pretty small amount. Let's try that. Send with that fee. All right, I'm good with that. And it's sent. Hopefully this one updates over here. Oh, actually, we haven't refreshed this one in a while. I guess I should do that. And it does have that amount. But now, sent transactions should have actually been updated. So it was updated right there. Okay, so that TXID is what should have been inside of the transaction. That's what I was trying to figure out. So we get the inputs, the outputs. Conversion is undefined. So essentially, we need to check the input addresses and the output addresses. At least for the sent transactions. And that's how we would connect them to to the contact. So we will likely need a new store in IndexedDB here. I'm going to go into DB. Okay, so just refreshing this should add another database here. Theoretically. No? Maybe because I'm not trying to use it. The wallet store. All right, so it is imported right there. Okay. So this time it made the new transaction database. I'm debating what to do about the structure of what's stored in here. For one, should I be using the transaction ID as the key for transactions? For two, should it retain the structure that it gets from the WebSocket API? Or I guess that's not WebSocket API. That's actually send. That's actually the raw transaction send there. And we pair it with what we actually sent. Where was that? I guess that is what we sent, but because it's the raw transaction that was sent, it returns us the TX ID. So this TX is actually am I following that right? I believe that transaction, so the TX is actually an object of what we tried to encode. So TX res send TX. Yeah, okay. So TX res would actually be the raw transaction. Maybe not the raw transaction, but state TX is actually the object, if I recall correctly, which is how we're getting that information here. Is it's all of these details. But I don't know if I want to store it that way. That's great for if we're sending the transaction. But if we're requesting a list of transactions, for example, we go to an address. So there's this transactions list here for both of these. This list seems a little shorter, so I might use that one just so it's easier to keep track of. Or is this? Okay, so I want to see, I'm going to copy this. Actually going to pull this side by side here. And I think if we were to do adder, okay, so that gets us a list of transactions. Can we do UTXO on there? That didn't work. Ah, it works for that one. All right, so, ooh, wasn't expecting it to zoom in there too. I'm now wondering if, so we get the list of UTXOs, which I believe is the spendable, or it's unspent transaction something. Unspent transaction output, I think UTXO stands for, something like that. So that means we're able to spend that much for this one. But we probably don't just care about spendable. We want to be able to see all the transactions. So I want to look at, all right. So right now it looks like we're getting the UTXO request. So it does have the TX IDs for those, but we're not doing a normal just transaction request. I think that is being handled inside of dash site. So in here, probably here. If we temporarily copy this and say get all the X's or addresses, and we drop that. Okay, so if we then come here. Oh, that's not right. Oh, we must be using this. There we go. So drive TX wallet, get multi-core UTXOs. All right, so with that in there, let's refresh. Well, we didn't get an error, but it certainly didn't call that. Oh, interesting. Ah, that's right. I forgot we were doing that. Okay, let's see now if it will work. Something. 404 not found. I think I'm gonna need to find the API here. So uh, okay, so if I add the X's to the end, that might work. Um, Go away. Oh my gosh. I truly loathe when things do that. Just want it to go to the piece of code. So get all transactions like that. Let's try this. All right, so if we clear here and refresh, it'll work this time. Aha. Preview response. So from 0 to 10, total 57. so it got a limited number. So we could do from 0 to for additional parameters. And total items is 57. Okay, but we can now see that we get a bunch of the transactions like that instead. So they definitely have a different shape than what gets stored on the cent. But they do have VIN and VOUT, which is similar to inputs and outputs. It might even be the same. So address, pub key hash, Satoshis. Okay, so the inputs has a bit more info on it. Which is similar there. Okay, so we can request the transactions. I will likely need to do a PR to dash site for that. Let me open up dash site real quick. I don't believe I have it open. So looks like I have some changes in here. Why for? Resting. So fetch body. Must have been getting a parse error. Let's see if I can pull if we're out of date. I don't think we are, but all right. Doesn't look like it. So if I do a branch, I'm going to say create new branch. I'm going to call it a feature branch and say, what do we call it in here? And let me cancel. What did I call the other ones? Bulk balances. Okay. So create new branch, feet, bulk, PXs. Right, and we're going to come in here. Does that actually match? Let's see. So we've got address is not in there. All right, it certainly does not match. Oh my gosh. That's irritating. All right, insight TX is TXID version, the number, version, lock time, also a number. Then vout. Let me move this. Okay, so address is not in there yet as far as I can tell. Okay, so TXID version lock time. Block hash is a string. Block height is a number. Confirmations. Time. Block time. Value out. Okay, is also a number. Keys. EX lock. Okay. We do need a vout, but we also need a then. this would be an array. Oh. Oh, cool. So I'm doing extra work here. I should have searched for that. So Insight TX, but it doesn't look like he has everything in here. Only some of the stuff. But he does have that already figured out. That's the case. I don't want to redo it. But I've pretty much done all of that extra stuff. So I'm gonna copy all of that for now. Delete that, and then find Insight TX. Maybe just a single one. There we go. Paste like so. The transaction version. Those are there. Block time is not. Time is. Block hash, block height, block time, confirmations is there. Value out, value in, fees. There. Size not, and transaction lock is there. Okay. All right. So that should give it the missing fields, but also make them optional in case that's being used elsewhere. But then I should be able to see. I can delete all. I'm gonna delete all of this for now. Okay, so given that, if we come back up here, we've got that. And then inside of here, probably need okay. Not assignable to type. Okay. So now if we oh, why did I do that? Um, okay, so if response is okay, we return the response. Otherwise, we get the text. All right, that's why I did it, because it's only returned as an error at this point. And so we're kind of prettifying the error. And the reason it's set up like that instead of how it was set up is I believe I ran into an error where it was just doing response.json, but some of these don't respond with a JSON response on error. They respond with a string. So essentially, we're going, hey, is the first character curly brace? If it is, we assume it's JSON and we try to parse it or stringify it. Is that right? I may have done that backwards. Yeah, that's actually what we should do. Because this will be text at this point. So we get the text. If it starts with a curly brace, we go ahead and parse it as JSON. I don't think this does JSON P, but if it did, that could throw this off. Yeah, so JSON P would have a payload like this instead. So it would actually be wrapped in a function. but I'm pretty sure this doesn't do that. So I'm gonna assume this will fix that error. Gonna go ahead and commit this. So let's say actually I'm gonna cancel that. So one more thing I just thought of is as we were looking at the docs here, so the pagination stuff should not be specified. See, I did think there was something like that in there. Fetch, base, transactions, address, page number, cursor. Um, Hmm. So whoa, that's weird. I thought that's how you could define their default value, but not seem to be working. That's not better. Um, how do you do that? Let's see. Yes, docs, optional default value. Huh, that is what I was thinking. Okay. It's not showing it, at least where I was looking, but that is what I was thinking. All right, so that should get all of them, I think. If I actually change this back to 10 like it was, and test this out. Let's see. I guess this is not linked to this one right this second. But with that change, okay, now if I come here, let's clear and refresh. Uh-oh. Hmm. Okay, so now we've got all transactions. If we look at network, yep, so it ran 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 to 57. Okay, and when we look at all of these, they might, yeah, I think they're a little bit cleaner. They don't have as much of the stuff that they did. I think script sig isn't supposed to be there. No script sig. That sure looks like script sig to me. Script pub key. It does have the spent, but it also shouldn't have ASM. I don't know. Not the biggest deal, but I might just leave it off. Either way, we were successfully able to get all of them, so I might bump this up to the 100 that I initially intended. All right. I am wondering though, if it's worthwhile to do something like, let's see, get So from items to and total, from items to and total, from items to total items. Items. Okay, so with that, response would be that, I think. Okay. So then we've got get page transactions versus all transactions. Whoops. Nope, that's not right. That's right. So page transactions return is missing the following properties from type-ins. What? Hmm. Okay, so with those changes, now if at some point we want to just get a single page, we can do this one and it will return the information. But if we want to get all of them, it should be able to loop over all of them. So if we come back here, I'm going to clear these out and refresh. Uh-oh. Headers, service unavailable. Interesting. From 0 to 100. Less than or equal to 50. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so 250 and 250. All right, let's try that again. Oh, I should have cleared it. Okay, that's not right. Something's haywire. So from 250. Do I have it in? Ah, there we go. 50. Okay, let's try that then. Right. Still, what? From 2. Okay. Get all transactions. Oh, derp. I forgot to update here. Okay. Now let's try. I forgot to clear. Dang it. But it did work. Let's do it one more time though. Okay, there we go. So 50 to 100. Okay, and then the preview is 50 to 57 items versus, cool. And our get all transactions is from items to, is that right? 933, get all transactions. That doesn't seem right. Did I mix this up somehow? Get all transactions should be just the items. So get all TX. Interesting. Why is that haywire? Oh, I didn't update this. I don't know if that matters much, but should eliminate some complaints. All right, so get all transactions. So TXs. Oh, okay, okay. So I do need to use this one here. That's what I think is happening. All right, let's see if that works, but let's clear this and that. Oh, wait, and we need to copy it over. I could just link to the project, but I'm being lazy. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. That's what I was expecting. All right. I think I'm gonna get this committed and probably wrap up once I've got this committed. So we've got the bulk transactions. Let's check and see if we've got any cruft in here. Let's delete that. So that was added to UTXOs. I might modify that just so all the new ones are at the bottom. Okay, and let's say commit. What were we calling this again? The bulk request transactions for bulk request transactions for address array. All right, and I will go ahead and push that. Make the branch there. All right, so let's see. Need to pull up that other window again. This one. All right, compare and pull request. Assign to myself. Request reviewer from cool AJ86. And let's see. Whoops. Enhancement. Um, Alrighty. So we've got that created. All right. And let's see what we got here. We can commit. So we did change that theme. I'm going to go ahead and straight up delete that. And probably this too. All right. Then let's see. Oh, I was just messing with indentation there. I don't know if I actually want to do that. So I was messing with that indentation. I don't know. I'm not going to commit that right now. Let's see. I'm going to leave that off for now. I have several fixes related to the contacts. Let's see if we can get those added first. Oh, that's not really needed yet. Will be needed at some point. And that needs to not have that. Okay. That's contacts related. All transactions. Right, that's not needed yet. Get alias. Also contact related. And store transactions. Okay. So these ones are contact related. Say bug fixes for okay, so now I don't think I want to commit that. I'm okay committing the styles. This is also debugging stuff. I don't know if we need to commit that yet. I don't think that code will go there, but maybe it's worthwhile. I don't know. We'll see. Do need to commit that. And probably this. Okay, and then in here, transactions. I probably don't need this anymore. And just comment it out for now. Actions list. I'm going to clean this up. Since we didn't modify any of that, I will just keep it simple like so for now. And that can also be cleaned up. Okay. So let's do feature UI. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and right, so experiment with new dash site. That's it. Maybe I'll just say experiment with dash site, get all transactions. And I actually don't want to do that yet. It may be worthwhile to, let's see, where was that? Any of those. I can have it. Did I close that window? I think I closed that window. That was it. Okay. This is it, right? Okay, so I want to see if I can install this version. So it is called Feet Bulk Transactions. I think I had some issues installing from something like this before recently, but we'll see if we can do it. So dash site, not at bulk transactions. Okay, let's see if we can install that. Where is the window? The get reference could not be found. No replace objects. Check bulk transactions. Maybe that will work. Ah, that worked. I think. Let's see. So dash site. Maybe I'll go ahead and delete it for good measure. And then install again just to make sure it's not the copied version. Okay. So inside of here, what we got? Get all transactions and page. That's good. What we want. All right, so it should be there. And if we come here and refresh, is that still working? Awesome, good. Okay, so now if I do that, it should deploy working. All right, so experiment with, is that spelled right? Why does that look wrong? Is it wrong? It is wrong. Knew it was wrong. Experiment. Ah, there we go. Experiment with dash site. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and push that. All right. And let's see. That may work. If we actually go here, that's what I think I want. Create pull request. Transactions view. Assign to myself. Enhancement. Roadmap. I believe this is stage 2. And what I'm missing from this is the reference. So number 61. Okay, so now this, once that's finished running, should deploy a branch. So if I go to actions here, looks like it's already deployed. There we go. All right, cool. Okay, I think I'm wrapping up here. So thanks to everyone who tuned in, and please consider liking, following, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that stuff. It's much appreciated, and I will catch you all next time. Later.